We've all gotten that itch to go back and start a vanilla Bannerlord playthrough before and play it just like it was intended. No mods, no exploits, just a classic medieval sandbox experience.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
You start playing and everything's fine and you're actually having a lot of fun. But then it hits you. The further along you get, you start noticing how awful the AI is during battle. They either just stay in a square formation waiting for you to pick them off one by one,
What the hell is even that?
or just completely bum rush your troops with no thought whatsoever. You try to not let it bother you and you just ignore it, but the further along you get, the more problems you just start to notice. Every faction in the game starts declaring war on you at the same time for what feels like no reason at all, and there's nothing you can do about it. After grinding for hours for your first few feasts, you get tired of the constant war loop that you're stuck in with other factions. Trading castles and settlements back and forth because neither side can fill up their garrisons in time, and the whole process just starts to feel repetitive and eventually boring. You finally give in and accept that you want mods to enhance and improve your playthrough, and to fix some, if not all, of Bannerlord's issues. After searching and adding your favorite mods, you're left with tens, maybe even hundreds of mods in your load order just for it to crash. You don't know why, and you're left back to where you started. But what if I were to tell you there's a way to fix most, if not all, of Bannerlord's issues while adding even more content than you thought was even possible? No downloading hundreds of mods individually, worrying about load orders and correct versions, just one simple mod that fixes, enhances, and breathes new life into the world of Calradia. I'm talking about the mod Banner Kings, and if you still love Bannerlord for what it is today, but struggle with some of the issues that we just talked about, then this is literally the perfect mod for you. If you don't know what Banner Kings is or have never heard of it, this is a mod with a suite of features that aims to deepen and enhance non-combat gameplay. What I mean by this is that populations, feudal titles, village projects, settlement management overhauls, and a lot more are all reworked while still keeping the old vanilla style and flavor that we all know and love. Banner Kings by itself is amazing, but the team has also put together an additional submod called Banner Kings Culture Expanded that will improve Bannerlord even further, that we will talk more about later on. And that's exactly what I wanted to do and talk about today, and highlight exactly what Banner Kings and its submod does and why you should try it out for your next vanilla playthrough. As I said earlier, Banner Kings adds a lot of content, enough to where they even needed to make their own wiki, which you can find linked down below. But what makes this mod special and stand out compared to all the other total conversion mods is that it still keeps that vanilla Bannerlord flavor and style while staying true to the already existing lore. We're not going to go over every aspect of this mod or we will be here all day.
2,000 years later.
But I did want to start by taking a look at the new playable cultures. There are a total of 21 cultures now instead of just the original 6. You might have noticed the different names for the cultures, and don't worry, they are the same kingdoms that you know and love. Their names were just slightly changed to reflect their native languages according to the lore. All 21 cultures, including the original 6, have brand new unique buffs and debuffs, making your playthroughs again feel new yet recognizable. Banner Kings has also introduced to us a brand new and never seen before education system. Education is governed by a brand new skill called scholarship, which affects languages, lifestyles, and books. Every culture will have its own language, but others can be learned from your clan members or notables. Language is mostly useful for reading books, but it can also be used for other things like special greetings, better deals while trading, and it also increases the cultural acceptance rate in settlements of a different culture. Lifestyles will give you access to specialized perks for your character, and they are always associated with 2 different skills. Each lifestyle has different stages to them, and to progress through these stages, you will need to have 100% progress by meeting the minimum skill criteria before being able to progress to the next stage. Essentially, these lifestyles are focus points and time investments for specialized perks that are extremely strong for your character. And books is something that the community has been asking Tailwars to add since Warband.
I'm so sick of this company. They're trash!
And they are sold by certain sellers spread all across the map. Books do come in different types, but most of them are associated with a skill, and finishing the book will give you a focus point in that skill. Books are written in different languages, so your reading capacity is going to be dictated by your fluency in that specific language. Banner Kings has also completely rebalanced settlements and villages, because they are very underwhelming economically in vanilla. Banner Kings vastly extends and deepens Bannerlord's settlement management with a whole new host of stats and factors with intricate relations between them that gives the player much more to worry about and work with. Settlement policies and decisions allow for more precise control over settlements, such as tax rates, rather than only controlling projects. Populations are the source and root of nearly everything in settlements and villages. Taxes, productivity, loyalty, and prosperity society are all affected by your settlement's population. Essentially, everything can be tied to them. And there are 5 new stats you will have to worry about and should keep a close eye on because they have a huge impact on your settlements: stability, autonomy, notable support, cultural presence, and manpower. I won't go too deep into each one, but essentially stability and autonomy have a counter correlation with each other. For example, low stability means high autonomy and vice versa. High autonomy means your settlement produces a lot less taxes and influence, which makes the settlement overall much less useful. Notable support obviously reflects the overall support of the local gentry, which has a big impact on loyalty and influence. Cultural presence is how much of the population shares the same culture with you, which also has a huge impact on loyalty. The new manpower stat reflects how many volunteers are being extracted from your settlement's population. No more manpower, no more people to recruit. Villages, on the other hand, are no longer your backwater settlement with nothing for you to do. You can now buy or be granted an estate from the villager's owner. You can then put your prisoners on your estate to help work the land to produce you goods, which in turn produces you more money. Estates have a workforce associated with them, which produces a percentage of the village total production. This production is a source of the estate's income, which is then taxed by the village owner. If you are the settlement owner, you can expect villages to generally generate about 5 times the income compared to vanilla. Villages tend to have an overall higher productivity depending on the population workforce. Various new goods have also been added to the production list, increasing the economic role of villages that produce exclusive goods. Villages have also new ways of generating income. The village marketplace and tax office enables new income streams, furthering increasing their relevance. And the last thing I wanted to touch on before we take a look at the Culture Expanded submod is how Banner Kings has completely changed how we handle our clan, kingdom, companions, and even family members. For example, you will no longer be able to have your companion lead parties for you, but rather parties must now be led by nobles or knights. Knights are an entirely new host of lords, which are just commoners that are granted with a piece of property. This means that in order to lead parties, you're either going to have to risk your family members or make an investment in property. You are also no longer the only person in the entire world capable of having companions. AI clans will now recruit companions and parties to fulfill the functions they are best at. Companions are also now equipped with different presets, which means they are finally decently armed and look good. And when you create a kingdom, you'll immediately notice a ton of new tabs and features that you would not normally find in vanilla. One major feature is the addition of councils. This is very similar to how councils work in Crusader Kings, so if you are familiar, you shouldn't have any trouble managing it. Clans with adequate peerage are allowed councils. Peerage is a new concept, which is just a set of rights or restrictions that dictate what a clan can or cannot do. For example, the ability to cast a vote on an election, start elections, receive feasts, etc. Councils are made up of 5 core positions: Marshal, Steward, Chancellor, Spymaster, and a Spiritual Guide. Appointing an efficient council will provide a wide range of bonuses for your kingdom. For example, appointing a Marshal can encourage militarism throughout your populace. More militarism means a larger portion of the population will serve as manpower, leading to larger manpower pools that replenish faster. Each council member has their own set of bonuses that will in turn help strengthen your kingdom overall. You will also find a ton of new diplomacy options that are readily available that I think all of us have been asking for since the dawn of time. Not only can you form alliances, truces, non-aggression pacts, and trade pacts with other kingdoms, but you will now have to consider how your own clans in your kingdom view you. If a clan starts to oppose you and gains enough support, fellow clans may join up together to create a faction. If these factions gain enough support, they can then start a civil war, dividing your kingdom in 2. If they lose, they will return to your kingdom, but if they win, you will have to uphold any of their demands. The few features that we just talked about are some of my favorite, and I think it just shows us what Bannerlord's true potential really is. These few features alone is what sets this mod apart from any other mod or total conversion mod. And it doesn't even stop there, as Cultures Expanded adds religions with a brand new religion system, alters the map, alters and adds new cultures and factions, and overhauls entire troop trees. Cultures Expanded adds 10 brand new and custom religions, and each one has their own warfare and marriage doctrine, holy sites, cults, rites, and doctrines, all for you to explore. Religion in this mod is very in-depth, so take some time to familiarize yourself with them so you know which one best suits your character. One of my favorite additions that this mod brings is the overhaul of troops. Our favorite troops having a new coat of paint to them makes the game feel fresh again. All of the new armor designs are beautiful yet subtle so that they aren't unrecognizable. Another feature that makes this game feel new again is the new map overhaul. Not only did the map get expanded with new playable areas, but old parts of the map were also revamped and improved upon to make more sense. For example, villages around the map were moved to different locations that makes more sense. For example, villages producing salt were found on freshwater riverbanks, Botania's not having a single cattle village despite it being a significant part of their culture, and so on. Castles also got an overhaul as they will now have unique names just like settlements do, and they were also moved so that they are positioned better strategically and logically. With all of the new additions that we just covered and many more that we didn't get to go over, I think this is the closest that we will ever see Bannerlord reaching its full potential. Not only fixing Bannerlord at its current state, but developing it to where we all know it could be. Bannerlord by itself is a decent game, but with an unlimited amount of potential that could turn it into the game that we always knew it could be. Luckily, with a community and mods like Banner Kings, we can help Bannerlord reach that full potential. I do highly recommend that you go over to their Discord and Nexus mod page so that you can see and read more about what Banner Kings actually does, because unfortunately, we only scratched the surface of this mod. I'll have all those links that you will need linked down below for those of you that are interested. If you're a fan of keeping Bannerlord close to what it's supposed to be while fixing the game's long-standing issues, then Banner Kings is the perfect mod for you. Explore a map that feels new yet recognizable. Build armies with your favorite troops, but with a new coat of paint. Create diplomatic decisions like you never could before, and expand and stay true to the Calradian lore that we all know and love. And Banner Kings isn't the only total conversion mod that's worth checking out right now. As we all know, the long-awaited Shikuo mod has just been released, so check out my deep dive review of Bannerlord's most anticipated mod so far. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like bell and subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.